Call to order the regular council meeting of January 10th, 2022. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So, would you take roll, please?
Clark?
Here.
Conan?
Here.
Ballard?
Yep.
Slutz?
Here.
Belkey?
Here.
Shaw and Bullock are absent.
Do we have an approval for the agenda?
Mr. President, I'd like to add something to new business to the agenda. It would be just the police department report.
Police Department under new business.
Yep.
Okay. Could we have a motion for the agenda with that?
And I will move that the agenda be accepted as amended.
Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Do we have any citizens' comments? No comments today. No presentations. Administrative reports. We have quite a few things in here from the Planning Commission you can review. One thing, I think they're changing their start times now from 7:30 to 7 o'clock.
Do we know that yet?
Yes.
Well, I talked
You
to
do know
Becky.
that?
I talked to Becky last week on that. She asked me if I had any problem with that. I didn't know.
Okay. Alright, I'll change, I think I
So,
gotta change the thing.
So, are there any other commissioners who'd like to report?
Yes,
Yeah. Go ahead.
I don't have the report per se, but we have Doug here from F&B. He'd just like to say a few words.
Good
Doug, would you like to speak? And
Yes.
After you speak, you are excused, but you could stay if you would like.
Well, thank you. Since the last time I met with the council, we've gone through the contractors and the engineering firm has gone through. We went through a punch list of items for everything, all the items that need to be tightened up after construction. That is done. We're in the process. We've got the plumbers are left demobilizing the plant right now, demobilizing their stuff, meaning the trailers and everything else has gone out. All painting, touch up, and the work. Steve Clark's been involved with us, and we've approved everything as it has gone through. As far as the roof, we're waiting on that. The contractors need one good day of 40-degree weather for the glue to seal up. We're just waiting on that day.
Might be a wait.
Could very well be a wait. But everything, the parts have been ordered, everything is in place, waiting for that one good day of 40-degree weather and no rain. The only other item I have to add is this past week, starting on New Year's Eve and ending last Tuesday, we had a biotech come in. They're a pump sludge hauling firm. They hauled out about 300,000 gallons worth of sludge out of our sludge holding tanks. That should be good for about 6 to 8 months, I believe.
Where will that go?
That was taken to a farm, a 130-acre farm for land disposal. Everything was approved through Michigan, and they had the permits in place. They took it to the farm for land application for the crops. So, no muss, no fuss. We are done with that, and right now we're just getting us some odds and ends taken care of, and the wastewater plant will be full go.
Good.
So that's all I have, Commissioners.
Thanks, Doug.
Do you have anything to add to that,
Nope.
Steve?
Nope, I'm just be glad everything's all back to normal.
Yeah, so
I thought we usually did that in the fall.
No, we do it a couple times a year.
a couple times a year,
And
right?
it's worked out that it's a good thing we did it when we did, because the ground would be, they land apply it, they inject it into the ground. they slid along and a pipe injects it into the ground. And once it gets too frozen, like what we have right now, you can't do it.
We literally had 48 hours notice that they were coming in. That's how quick things had to go with the weather and such as it was. It wasn't the optimum conditions for them to come out, but it worked out well for us. What we do in the meantime, long story short, we shut off the air and the water that's at the top, what we call decan it back to the head of the plant. So that buys us a few months' time. Everything else is satisfactory to our knowledge.
Sounds good.
Yep.
Ross, you had something?
Yeah, I've got my usual list. Just the last meeting, we talked about the F&B contract review that I conducted and indicated that there were some items in the contract and the scope of work that we were not able to get to. This is really not a fault of F&B. It's just that we had limited really their effort to 20 hours a week unless we want to enter into some type of contingency work, which we could do. The concern that I had is there are some things that I think are essential that are not getting done. I put them in the report. You can take a look at them. It's not an all-inclusive list. And I also put in it's a draft right now, but it's an indication of, aside from plant operation, which again is water treatment plant, the 3 well houses, the water tower, operating the system, F&V performs sampling, testing, and reporting for us. That pretty much sucks up the 20 hours a week that we have. The 20 hours was based upon what Ed Saratowski said he put into the system a week in terms of his oversight and activities. So I have talked to F&V. Marv wanted me to talk to F&V again. I sat down with Stuart last week. There's some things that I can do as a commissioner. I mean, water is not a commissioner job for the light of heart. There's a lot of effort in there, and some of that I just take upon myself to do. So I will do that. I'm working with Dave to try to do a couple things. For example, Dave and I will set up a hydrant flushing and valve exercising program. I do want F&V to chop off on it. And F&V has indicated that they will help us with a couple things at no additional cost, and then there may be an item or two that we do some contingency work. It'll be within my spending authority that I have. So we're going to get this stuff done, but that was the purpose of the contract review, was to say, okay, we've been at this about 9 months. Where are we? What are we doing well? What are we not doing? And again, I want to reiterate, I don't think F&V has fallen down on anything that they're supposed to do. They're getting the essential work done. It's just with the 20-hour cap, it's tough to get to the other stuff that I feel we have to get done, a maintenance plan and so on.
One of the things, when we freed up the DPW from a lot of the work that at least the head of the DPW was doing, the superintendent, that should have made some extra room for the DPW superintendent, or in this case Dave.
Yeah.
And maybe he can do some of that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No,
I mean,
already.
no offense, I don't want to.
No, take it.
I'm pretty sure I'm talking for Marv, and I think for a lot of us. You know, we want to spend what we have to, but what we can keep in house. Some of the we don't want to expand upon that. The idea we went into this was like 20 hours. So, but if occasionally, you know, if we need to do something that's good. Or not good, but, you know, or maybe necessary.
Yeah, if it's prudent, yeah. Yeah, it's just that, again, we entered into this with 20 hours because none of us really had a good idea, a perfect idea of what was going to happen here. And I think I mentioned to council, too, that there's some unknowns. We had Ed in the room, we had Blair in the room, I was in the room. We tried to figure out everything we possibly could about what was going to happen, and did we have everything covered. And we're finding some things that we thought about, but we just don't have a way to get at them unless we increase hours. Now, as the system becomes balanced and the readings on the system have been great for the last 2 months, they're very consistent. It's operating in that sweet spot where all systems are supposed to operate. Eagle is very happy. In theory, that would give us, the operator, more time to do some of this other stuff.
So it sounds very good, but also we've put great strain on our, well, especially our sewer budget. But, you know, you've got a lot of things in the water department going, you know, with the arsenic treatment plant and things, and we just gotta be very, very careful.
Oh, yeah.
About even thinking about raising water rates,
Oh, no.
you know.
Your water rates aren't even part of the discussion.
Yeah, and I don't want it to be if I can help it.
Yeah, no, I do not want to raise rates. I'm sure we'll get to that when we get to the budget, that there's a mandatory increase every year.
But that's the cost of living, and
Yes.
It's
that we've done
3%.
for years.
Yeah, yeah.
But, you know, we also, because of our work we've done in the sewer department, had to raise it quite a bit beyond that
Yes.
last year.
Yeah, no, this, none of this will require any raising of water rates for the next year. So these are things that I think can be done, as I say, with either me diving in some more, getting F&B to provide some support that Stuart did say he would help with the maintenance plan development and so on. All gratis, which is great. Dave is involved and so on. So I'm not.
That's where we really want the
Yeah.
involvement, is through our people. You can't be out there turning the hydrants and stuff like
No,
that.
no.
You cannot be doing the physical work.
No, nor do I
No.
want to, especially on a day like this. But no, so I'm pretty confident we can get all that stuff done. But what I was going to say is, now that the system is in the sweet spot, we did get word that Wally Mankavich, our operator in charge, is resigned on Friday. So yeah. So sorry. Sorry, Doug.
Good thing you saved.
If Stuart was here, I was going to say, please tell Blair or Catherine I want a little love call to me to tell me officially that he's retired or resigned, and what's the plan, path forward.
Yeah, I'm shocked because I didn't hear word one of it today.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So yeah, I need to. That's the next note. Is I'm sure he will be backfilled. I know you're capable, Stuart's capable, but I need to know what's the plan moving into the future, because you've got other duties and responsibilities. Wally's last day should be the 21st, but I did talk to him today. He's got a couple vacation dates, which means sometime mid next week he's going to be gone. Drum scales are all installed and been paid for. We did have A and B alarm out to look at the alarm systems in the water treatment plant, well houses, and so on. All locations have problems, and so I'm looking at a path forward for fixing that stuff. More to follow on that. The one note I would say is, I believe whatever we do in terms of upgrading the alarm system will allow me to cancel some of the Comcast or AT&T services, or maybe both. Got to find out what those two services provide. For example, one of them is analog voice data to Macomb County Sheriff. If somebody breaks in and so on, we would cancel that potentially and go digital. So it's not just an additional cost incurred, will be relieved of some costs. I am working with Roe on the arsenic detention project. I mentioned that last time. We have to get a soil erosion permit and finalize the specification paperwork. They are checking with a couple vendors that are involved on costs. I threw out a range of cost increase at the last meeting. Apologize, I don't have something hard and fast yet from Rowe, but they are working on it. Talked to McIntyre's Soft Water about the G2 media delivery. The best date I have right now is 28 February, and for some reason they can't tell me if that's production date or delivery date. There's a big difference, and it makes a difference to us. So I continue to poke them to be more specific about when the stuff's going to be done being produced, and then when will it be delivered, because we have to do some things on our end to be prepared for it. We talked at the last meeting about potentially a strategic infrastructure planning and grant support from F&V Engineering. The only reason I'm talking with F&V Engineering is that they are the guys that did the capital improvement plan that we approved last January, February, March. I think it was March. So they've already got their foot in the door on some of this. We could go with somebody else, but I think they got a better handle on it right now than potentially Rowe does. I have submitted a scope of work to them, a draft scope of work. I asked for their thoughts back. They give us an initial draft proposal that Steve and Chris have, and I gave a copy to Michelle, and there's a copy for Mike Schaub, but you're not going to see it until after we make decisions on it. So, but those are the 4 infrastructure entities in the village. More on that in the future. I want to see what these guys have to say. Last but not least, we mentioned that the trail spur going up Church and Burke Street, that Lance Holweg had said that he would allow us to use that, and so the gentleman, Mark, shoot, I meant to get that too. He talked to us a couple meetings ago, several meetings ago. That's from Romeo.
Yeah.
Mark, sorry Mark. In any case, he's tied in with Michigan DNR and the Land Conservancy. They're very interested in doing that, helping us with it. So what that hopefully means is no cost to us. Lance has got to come back and indicate what his conditions would be to allow us to use the land. I'm sure it's liability and he's not going to take care of it and that kind of stuff. Doesn't mean that the village has to. I think the county is also very interested, and they may very well weigh in.
Well, shouldn't the Trail Authority be involved in this?
Well, that's the county, yeah. So John Paul Ray was very interested in this, and I think he will help pave it, do whatever. So probably got to get Jeff involved, because I don't know that
Talk
we
about
need to
paving across the
No,
Harloway property?
It was, yeah, just across the whole Wicks property. And, but again, Lance was, he was more than willing to do it, but we really didn't discuss conditions. But I did call Mark and just said, hey, you offered some help. How could the state and the county help us? And things are moving on that end. So we probably got to get Jeff involved at some point, because I think the village wants to make sure that we're not liable for anything either. The county's it's county,
Yeah.
it's a spur off the trail.
Yeah, it's their
So
trail. Yeah.
all we wanted to do is connect with Depot Street, and then we can go from there. Okay, subject to questions. That's all I have.
Buddy.
All right.
Thank you.
Doug, you're gonna leave us?
I'm going to venture out into the ungodly weather.
Yes.
Well, it's good seeing you.
Good seeing
Tell
you.
Blair or Catherine to call me. If they would be
Call you what?
so kind.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks. Blair will definitely do that. Call me sometime.
Well, I'd like to say that we in the office enjoyed Wally. Wally's a
Yes, he
very,
will be
very
missed.
nice man, very professional, very, just a good guy. So I
Even-
wish him
even
a
very
lot of luck
thorough.
in his new venture.
And did quite a bit to get that system balanced. Probably the first time in many years it's really been quotes around it singing
Yeah.
the way it's supposed to.
Yeah, good guy.
Thank you.
I urge you all to go through the planning commission, you know, what their year in review was. And their meeting dates coming up.
Yep.
Would anybody else, you got anything to report now, or you're gonna do yours
I'll do
after?
mine.
Okay,
Just a note on the code enforcer's report, Tom's talking about a situation, and he says he's got nothing he can do but keep sending letters. He does have some authority under the code of ordinances to cite people, so if he's having problems, he may want to take a look at that component of the ordinance and do something.
okay. No other administrative reports? So, do we have an approval of the consent agenda?
Mr. President, I'll move the consent agenda be accepted as presented.
Support that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
Lyle, are you abstaining for minutes?
Yes, I'll abstain from the minutes, thank you.
Yeah, we didn't know what to do without you here because who makes the motions?
Steve, do you have a little more to update?
No, I'm good on the sewer plant, thank you.
You're good on the sewer plant?
Yep.
Okay, new business. Let me get this up here.
Compliance with PA 152.
Okay. To consider compliance with PA 152 of 2011 through the continued implementation of the 80/20 employee health care contribution, which we normally do this every year, but can you update us, Michelle?
And we do this every year. It's in their contracts. What it is for the health insurance. The village pays 80%, the employees pay 20% out of their checks. And this is just the route we've always taken. So there's three different choices. This is the best for the village, and we determined that when we started it. So, and we have to renew it every year.
That being said, Mr. President, I'll resolve to comply with the Public Act 152 of 2011 by continuing the 80/20 option for the village's contribution to the cost of employee health insurance effective beginning February 1st, 2022.
Support.
All in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's approved. Now, we can do that, okay, right? We didn't
Yep.
have to-
No,
Okay.
just gotta
Okay,
have it.
now, moving on to the DDA budget approval, which, the budget for the DDA is, pretty much what we pay on our, bond. So,
Any associated fees.
the planning commission, did this, and, we need to have, approval by the board here.
Mr. President, I'll resolve to approve the proposed fiscal year 2022-2023 budget for the Downtown Development Authority Fund.
Support.
Was that you, Steve?
Yes.
So, would you take a roll call, please?
Ballard,
Yes.
Clark,
Yes.
Conan,
Yes?
Belkey,
Yes.
Sledds.
Yes.
I just want to add one more thing. When putting the budget together, I don't know how thoroughly you just reviewed it, but there's a very probable chance that the general will not be paying the DD bond payment this year.
That's awesome.
Wow, that's awesome.
It's pretty.
Well, that'll be a little quicker than we thought.
And
Yeah.
not necessarily, but if we take the heavy rollback, so that's going to reduce each year, the amount of money that they bring in. But we will still continue with the DDA because it has a heavy debt to the general.
I was gonna
fund.
say, after,
The bond is paid.
after we don't, the DDA, when the DDA can pay this bill themselves, then whatever overage they have, they gotta start making payments back,
Yeah.
To us.
To the general.
Yeah.
right, to the general fund. So anyhow, the motion was approved. We good?
Yep, police department.
So now you guys
Right.
will be sending that budget back to the planning
Planning
commission
commission.
/ DDA board,
Yep,
for adoption.
yep.
And I don't get to vote on that. I have to vote,
Because you
if I
already
voted
voted
here,
Can't vote
I
down.
can't vote twice there.
Yeah.
So, that's the budget. Now, Mr. Ballard, you had some police business.
Yes, I have our
That's great.
monthly police report here. We have traffic related and traffic stops was 60, assaults was 0, assist EMS was 4, assist other agencies 3, suspicious situations 4, civil dispute 1, dog and animal complaints 0, disturbance 2, alarm, open door 2, domestic disturbance 2, lockout was 1, death investigations was 2, runaway juveniles 0, damage to property 0, mental distress situation 0, mischief was 1, miscellaneous calls for service was 9, missing persons located 2, officer initiated activity 4, lost and found property 1, theft 0, fraud was 1 as of January 8th, 2022. The miles on the patrol cars were car number 431 was 69,191, and the truck 432 was 75,567.
Can I get a copy of that from
You
you?
sure can.
Lyle,
Yep.
what was the death investigation?
I have no idea.
I'm not gonna say it.
Okay.
No, this is just, that's all I do is I ask for their activity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ask for anything.
No details.
Right. Okay.
Now, there's some things, because I used to be the police commissioner, and just because you're the commissioner, you don't get to go through the files
No,
or
you're not a
different
police
things like
officer.
that. You know, you're the,
Liaison between
you know, like
the
a
chief and the
yeah, the
council.
liaison. But you don't get to wear a badge. You don't get to, you know,
Sounds to me like you asked.
You're not Rock Hudson when he was the police commissioner.
No.
Anyhow,
And he's
I've
not.
got some more yet.
oh, go ahead, Lyle. I'm sorry.
That's okay. I've received a note here that was addressed to myself and the street commissioner, Chris Sledge, from Dave Wagner, DPW supervisor, says Chris and Lyle. I've noticed businesses and residents that regularly do not clean snow from their sidewalks per village snow ordinances. I need your help to get these sidewalks shoveled. It's a liability for the village, and I would hate to see someone get hurt. Please help me to get the police department or village code enforcer, or both, to get sidewalks that are not shoveled cleaned up by the required amount of time. I also need to mention the continuing issue of basketball nets being within the village right-of-way, winter, spring, summer, and fall. This continues to make it difficult to do street sweeping, road maintenance, snow removal, etc. I need your help on this too. It's a recurring problem. Can we not contact these residents to get the basketball hoops out of the right-of-way once and for all? I request you get back to me before the 24 January council meeting with the path forward. I am going to meet with Dave on this, and I'm going to tell him, yeah, if they have a basketball net, get a hold of the police, go on up to their door and say, remove the basketball net from the right-of-way. That's the first warning. The second time, we're going to confiscate it, and it's going to go in the dumpster. That's it. I'm not going to mess with it.
Wouldn't this, I'm not sure, I'm just asking.
Go ahead.
Wouldn't this come under the code enforcer?
No, not really. I don't think the basketball net would.
Seems like it's a traffic issue.
Yeah,
It'd be
it
the
would be a
police.
traffic issue, and,
Let's make sure that we can just take that net out of
oh
there.
yeah, okay.
Yeah, because one's not in the right of way, it's actually
In
in
the
the
street.
street. Yes,
Well,
it is.
in the code enforcer, or if it's the police department, should be doing something, and Lyle says he's getting with them, so.
Yep.
Well, we
That
get
sounds
tickets if we're
good.
parked on the road after
So,
a certain amount. Yeah,
Maybe
on the
you
main
can
streets.
update us
Yep.
at the next meeting?
Next meeting, yes, I can.
Okay.
Do you have anything else,
Oh, yeah.
Commissioner
Yeah,
Ballard?
Yes, I've got quite a bit here, I'm sorry.
Yep, go ahead.
Okay, the next thing was, let's see. Okay, that's for Joe. Let's move down. Yes, the new Explorer. I requested our police chief, to make contact with the Ford dealer that supplies the police vehicles at state pricing. Signature Ford. The dealer where we purchased the last two Armada police vehicles gave the attached pricing for a new Explorer. The reason we want that is because we generally get rid of our police cars when they're at 70,000. We're already at 75 on this one. This will be for next year's budget. If you'd like to wait until the 2023 budget is completed to include the vehicle purchase, or move forward with the order. What it takes is the salesman told him that there is a 30-plus week wait once the vehicle is ordered. And we do have the price here. It's a 2022 Ford Police Interceptor Utility Aid all-wheel drive in silver. That's $32,749. So I think we're gonna be talking with Joe and get that ordered.
Yeah. Well, if you order it, it'll still come out of next year's budget.
Sure, that's exactly right.
Depending on what they want down at time of order.
Well, it doesn't say anything here. It just gives us a,
So we can still split it between the two. budgets.
sure. Okay, so if the council says go ahead and order it, I'd like to put a motion to that effect that we order it.
How about can we bring that back when we have maybe one more person here?
Okay, yeah, I don't care.
I don't wanna ask Marv coming in to come.
No, I expect him back at the next meeting. I don't know. I guess does it matter? How's the budget look, Joe?
They've got funds.
This comes out of our salvage title fund,
right,
so.
right.
All right, if you wanna,
Yeah,
if you wanna
yeah.
make a motion,
Okay. I will move that we give Chief Patrick,
hold on, you're gonna have to go slow, cause I didn't write it. Okay. Authority
the
to,
authority to order the 2022 Ford Police Interceptor Utility AWD in silver
okay, hold on a second, Ford Police Interceptor,
Utility.
utility.
Interceptor,
Interceptor and silver.
Utility,
AWD, that's an all-wheel drive.
okay, alright, so 2022 Ford Police Interceptor Utility what'd you say, four-wheel drive?
AWD
All-wheel drive
in silver
in summer
for price,
at a cost of,
yep, $32,749.
okay.
Okay?
I'll second that.
I
That
do
was
have
yours,
a
Steve?
question.
Okay.
Is this off the police contract that they have with the state of Michigan?
Yes.
Because I thought they were getting mainly Chryslers.
No, Chrysler did not cut it this time. Ford.
Because we had several
Yep.
Chargers.
Chargers.
Yeah, and that's.
Okay, but this is off the state contract
Yes.
anyhow,
Yes.
so
It is.
that's a negotiated contract that gives the municipalities the best deal.
Joe, do you need it to say from
Well, is that an
the,
outfitted price, or do you still have to give
No,
cost for outfitting?
salvage title funds, or?
Well, that's what I was just gonna tell you. He's also gonna have to get with me, once he's negotiated getting this order done, how much will be required in the actual order process into this budget, because there'll be a budget amendment out of the STI funds that will be required.
Okay, so do you want me to put, at the end of that motion, do we wanna put out of police STI funds, or just, no?
That's fine.
Okay, do you care, either of you guys?
No, that's fine.
That's fine.
All
That's
right,
where it's gonna come
Yeah,
from.
that's where
anyway.
it's gonna come
from
Salvage title fund, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Title, yep.
STI funds, okay.
And we do need a roll call
Yep.
on this.
Ballard,
Yes.
Clark,
Yes,
Belkey?
Yes.
Sledge?
Yes.
Conan?
Yes.
One last thing. This is dear village president Marvin Woolock, village clerk Michelle Polis, and members of council. It has been an honor to serve as chief of police for the village of Armada since June 2016. After much consideration, however, I have decided to leave my position when my contract expires March 31, 2020. I thank you all for your constant support of the police department. You made my job of providing quality service much easier over the years. I am sure it will not be difficult to the village to find a chief that will fill the needs of this fine community. Respectfully, Michael Patrick. We will wait until our last meeting to accept this.
We can, whenever you think.
Yeah, we'll wait until then, Michelle.
Our last meeting.
March, just.
31st.
Yeah, March 31st.
To accept it, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what would be the protocol there, but.
I think that would be the.
Are we going to, well, we could, yeah,
Right.
we can accept it then, but are you gonna put together a committee to?
No, I think Marvin and I have, what we do have some candidates that we want.
You're gonna make some recommendations?
We will make some recommendations, correct.
Okay, because, you know, we did talk the chief into an extra year or so.
Yep.
But I'm pretty sure he's not gonna, you
He's
know,
not gonna take it this time, I'll tell you that.
well, he's looking forward to doing some things that you just can't have a full-time job and still do.
That's right.
You might wanna go on a cruise or something, you know. So, Mr. Mr. Ballard, you're
Yes.
taking so long, I'm thinking you're wrong.
I know it.
I'm sorry.
And I apologize for that. So anyway, that's all I have.
I was gonna say, I'm very impressed. Keep it going.
So,
Almost be.
up and coming agenda items. Well,
Budget workshop just prior to the next.
yeah, you know,
I know
one
you
of the
all-
one of the things we all hate the most is those budget workshops. We can't hardly stand doing them, and we have to do them. But you commissioners, if you get in there, sit with Joe,
Goes a lot
try to
easier.
make a very reasonable budget. It'll move much quicker than if we just put in a budget there that's, you know, pie in the sky. So ask you to get with Joe, and we're gonna have to start having these budget meetings. We'd like to have it done by when? What? By at least the end of February, wouldn't we, Joe?
And
Between February 1st of March, I think we've done concluding, we're usually right up to the last meeting.
But we don't wanna do that,
Yeah.
we don't even wanna have a budget workshop scheduled that meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We'd like, I'd kinda like to see it done,
as quick as possible.
yeah, well, at
Yeah.
least by the end of February. Okay,
Fair enough.
so, do we have any citizen comments? Well,
Citizens?
hey, well, the report can ask questions. Council, any council comments? Community events? So, no closed sessions? So, I guess I could entertain a motion, Mr. Sleggs?
Mr. President, make a motion to adjourn at 7:39 PM.
Second by Ballard? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. I call the new